Hey, welcome to Dr. Agnes Math. Today we are going to do 3.1 and 3.2. We are adding and subtracting algebraic terms. Now, I want you to say this with me. Oh, goody. That's easy, because it is. Basically, it's what we did last chapter, but now we have a little letter at the end. Now, that letter isn't a letter for fun. It is a variable, which we'll get to a lot more later. Hope remember a variable is, it's basically could be anything. It is a number. We don't know what number, but it represents an unknown value. So if I say 9x and 9x plus 7x, you might as well be saying 9 apples plus 7 apples, or number of apples, really, because it's a value we don't know. We don't know the final value of this because we don't know what x is, but we can at least say, well, 9 plus 7 is equal to 16, so this must be 16x, because there are 16 x's. Right. We did this a little bit in 6th grade, and we're ramping up the amount that we do it in 7th grade, but it's still easy peasy. So let's get to it. We have 0.9x plus 0.7x. Oh, and by the way, we're really strictly working with decimals and fractions. So yay! That's where the difficulty comes. But we did that last chapter, so hopefully all that stuff's still really fresh. 0.9 plus 0.7. Okay, well, we already know 9 plus 7 is 16, so carry the 1 comes down. And the reason I set it up vertically is so that when you answer this question, you wrote 1.6x, and you put the decimal where it was supposed to. I didn't want to see anybody do this, which happens way more often than you would think. So that is incorrect. It's 1.6x. Every student should do these 3 questions right now. Pause the video. Go! Okay, we're back. So let's do these 2 questions right here. We are adding fractions. So if just an FYI, if there's ever a variable by itself, there's an understood 1 right there in front of it. So it's like 1 plus 2/3. Okay? And you can think about that as 1 over 1 if you like to. Remember, the biggest thing when we're adding fractions is that we have to find a common denominator. So the easiest one obviously is going to be 3. So this is like 3 over 3 plus 2 over 3. 3 stays on the bottom. 3 plus 2 is 5. And remember, I'm fine with improper fractions. In fact, I think they make a lot more sense, especially when we're working with these variables. So if you said 5/3 m, I understand and like that answer. So 5/3 m. This one down here, 1/4 plus 1/6. Okay, so notice I'm just taking away the variable just so I don't have to look at it and write it every time. And then I make sure, though, it comes back at the end. I can't always do this, and you'll see why later. But for now, I'm just worried about adding the 2 numbers and making sure the correct variable comes back at the end. So we can do this by saying, all right, this is find a common denominator. Well, the easiest way to find a common denominator is just multiply by the opposite denominator. But if you do that, make sure that you look to see if things simplify afterwards, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I multiply both of these numbers by 6, I get 6 over 24. Plus, both these numbers by 4, I get 4 over 24. Add those together, I get 10 over 24. Remember, don't mess with the bottom. But here's the issue. 10 over 24 is not simplest form. Both those numbers are even. They could be simplified. They could be divided by 2 to get 5/12, which is actually the simplest form. Let's just make sure our variable doesn't fly away with our answer. 5/12 y. And we don't have to write anything like this for now, but you will sometimes see things written as 5y over 12, just so you've seen it. Obviously, this is going to be a little easier, especially when we first start out. Pause the video. Me. Get the video rolling. Alright, so this is the same thing that we've been doing, except for now, instead of adding, we're subtracting. But we're very familiar with adding and subtracting these decimals, so it shouldn't be too tough. It's 1.8 minus 1.9. Well, 8 can't subtract 9, but it's more like 18 minus 9, which is 9. Decimal comes straight down. So this is 0.9y. This one right here, this is like 2/3 minus 1/4. Okay? Common denominator is going to be 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. So over 12, 8 minus 3 is 5. And do not lose your variable at the end. 5/12 speed. You and me. Math. Yay! Have a good day.